As a former PennDOT press secretary for both District 10 and District 11 in Western Pennsylvania, I understand, the challenges of dealing with landslides, congestion, limited funding, the challenges of trying to be efficient, trying to maximize resources, workforce, and all those types of things. And I appreciate what Representative Keller was saying about efficiencies, and that's always been one of my concerns, even from someone who was with PennDOT for many years. I always thought there were ways that we could try to be more efficient at time management, at the design, maintenance, construction processes themselves, shortening the duration of construction projects to save cost. I have a couple of questions related to that. But my first thing is the durability of materials. And I know that PennDOT has a research lab. Is there a significant investment in the research of materials to prolong the life of road surfaces, and perhaps a better way to be more efficient at salt maintenance, all those types of things? Even the public perception, if we're all going to go out and ask for more fees or increased cost or increased revenues, the public sees us paint lines every spring and summer and then scrape them off in the winter and then repaint them. I mean, that doesn't make sense to the general public.
I'm glad you brought that up. So when I mentioned our national awards, we have been nationally recognized for our State Transportation Innovation Council. We have one of the top, if not the top, in the entire country. And we've been looking at our materials. We've been looking at different ways of line painting. We've been looking at a new method now that's called recess line painting, where you dig out a little piece of the road and the paint sits in that little dugout area, and it's smaller than the width of your tire, so the tire then doesn't wear down that paint. Paint is really important, as you know, for safety as well. Safety is always at the forefront of every decision that we make. We're looking at different surfaces. We're looking at different materials. We're looking how we can build things faster, how we can build them cheaper. Again, all of the ideas that come through what's called our STIC, our State Transportation Innovation Council, have won awards, have been shared with other states who are now replicating them. And I'm very proud of what we've done. I co-chair that with our FHWA administrator here in Pennsylvania, Alicia Nolan, and we have been known to get construction methods. Our facilities, how we handle our facilities, and how we move ahead again with materials are big issues. We also have 6 academic institutions that feed research into this council. We meet 3 to 4 times a year. We also meet with the Turnpike Commission as well as private industry. It's a wonderful conversation, and because of it, we've been able to really move forward in an innovative way. We have a yearly report, and I'm happy to make that available to everybody. It's a wonderful digital report, and you would be very proud of what we're doing here in Pennsylvania, and I'd be happy to share that with you.
That would be great. Thank you. My other question, when you're talking about costs, I know a big cost for PennDOT is your workforce. But it's also a concern to me as we look at workforce, across the Commonwealth, CDL drivers, things like that, even your civil engineers and your professional engineers. I've heard from some of my former coworkers that, it's very difficult now to attract quality employees to the department. And I think that, again, would get to efficiency if you don't have enough staff to properly deliver the projects on time. And it's a very cumbersome process to deliver a major transportation improvement project. So can you talk a little bit about workforce, what you're doing to recruit, and how you're overcoming some of those challenges?
Yeah, it's a big challenge for us, particularly CDL drivers that you just mentioned. For instance, out west, where the energy industry is really having a boom in Ohio, West Virginia, we have our Shell cracker plant here in Western Pennsylvania. CDL drivers, I see billboards at $100,000 as soon they can make right away, and people who would normally come to a state for longevity, for job security, for pensions, for health care, they see they can make $100,000, or they can start with us at $33,000, $35,000, and so we're having a very hard time competing. That's a drastic contrast, but we have those contrasts throughout throughout the state, maybe not as large. And so we're working with AFSCME, which is, our union who employs many of those workers. We're going out to high schools. We're going out to colleges. We're going out to VOTEC schools. We're introducing what we do. We're working better. We're trying to figure out whether it's apprenticeship programs, whether it's bringing them in as temp operators. What is it that we can do? We're working closely with OA. It's a conversation. I think almost every day I have a workforce development conversation, and it's something we're working on because it's an issue now, but it's only going to become a bigger issue if we don't figure out ways to attract more people to apply for these jobs that we have vacancy rates that we prefer not to have at the level that we have them.